Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark Goldbridge with the latest Manchester United news as we talk about Manchester United's interest in Kylian Mbappe and also Bayern Munich snubbing Cristiano Ronaldo. These were a couple of, I've got to laugh. I mean, literally mentioned this on the morning show, didn't I? About 20 minutes in, I said, I guarantee at some point in the next 2 or 3 days, Manchester United will get linked with signing Kylian Mbappe or Harry Kane. It took about 25 minutes for it to come out. It's come out from John Cross, who is a journalist in the UK, that United are interested in £150 million Kylian Mbappe, and Harry Kane is also a consideration as well. Read it like a bloody book. Read it like a book. It was just so predictable that Manchester United would be linked to this. And I'm not saying Man United are putting this story out there, but it's always the same story, isn't it? It used to be Gareth Bale for about a decade. After a bad result, after a bad window, Glazer out movements. We're going to sign Bale. We never bought Bale. And Ronaldo wants to leave. We need a replacement. We're going to sign Mbappe. Do not sign Mbappe. I mean, learn the bloody lesson of the past. Ronaldo, Pogba, Di Maria, these massive super signings, they're not what Man United need. How many players actually over the value of 70 million have actually been a success in world football, by the way? The numbers aren't great. And it's not what we should be doing under Erik ten Hag. Under Erik ten Hag, we need to buy developmental players. The Malasias of this world, the Martinezes of this world, even the Antonys of this world. I know he costs a lot of money, but he is a potential player at 22. So, look, do I think Man United are going to buy Kylian Mbappe? The scary thing is I could never say never. It is the sort of thing that Manchester United would do. But it should not be the thing that Manchester United do. And I don't think as a story, it's the sort of thing that makes Man United fans get excited anymore, because I think we see through it. One, it's not going to happen. And two, it's not the right deal for Manchester United to be doing. So Kylian Mbappe to Manchester United does not excite me. And I would imagine it doesn't excite you at all. What I would say, MK says, disagree, Mark. Mbappe would be perfect for the Premier League. That's not the point. I'm not talking about whether he'd be perfect for the Premier League. I think it'd be a disaster for Manchester United. One thing about Kylian Mbappe is he basically, would you do a watch-along for the interview, says SD? It's hard to do watch-alongs for interviews. We'll just do an instant reaction like we do with the press conferences. Kylian Mbappe is definitely a superstar with a big ego. He basically stayed at PSG to take what appeared to be part ownership of it. I don't think it's the profile or personality United need to replace Ronaldo with. So I would steer clear of Mbappe. And if he's going to cost £150 million, I can think of 4 players I would buy with £150 million rather than buying Kylian Mbappe. It's not the deal I would do. It's not the deal I would do. And I don't think it's the deal that Manchester United would do. And I would question why we're being even mentioned in the same sentence as Kylian Mbappe, because it's so far away from what we should be looking to do post Ronaldo. My ideal is when Ronaldo goes, which he will, that we look at that we're looking at a striker that's the next Mbappe, if that's possible, or the next Haaland, if that's possible, or even the next Andy Cole, or the next Mark Hughes, or the next Cantona, or the next Van Nistelrooy. We've had a great tapestry of strikers at Manchester United. We just need a good striker who wants to be at Man United, who wants to score goals at Manchester United, and can do it at the level that we want to play. We don't need a world beater. We need to create our own. It's too expensive and it's too risky bringing superstar players into Manchester United. We must develop our own. That is my feeling around that. Harry Kane's interesting. I've got to say, I said this a couple of days ago. I'm not going to move away from this. If you're asking me what striker we're going to buy in the summer, I think it will be Harry Kane. I've got no inside information. It's a pure hunch. But I just think Harry Kane, I was just talking to Beth actually off camera and Charlie, and we were talking about this, and they were saying, you know, Harry Kane, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid. And then Beth said, but, you know, he'll want to break the Premier League goal scoring record, and you can't do that from the Bundesliga or La Liga. Now, that may well be true. That might be a very important target for Harry Kane. If Harry Kane is going to stay in the Premier League and he's going to leave Spurs, where's he going to go? Chelsea, I can't imagine him staying in London. Man City don't need a striker. Liverpool don't need a striker. Manchester United or Newcastle. Would he go to Newcastle? I don't think so. So I can see Harry Kane being a target for Manchester United. What would your thoughts be if we went for Harry Kane, by the way? I mean, he may well be the player that Bayern Munich are looking for instead of Ronaldo. The Man United spin machine is working, says Pratosaurus Rex. Over time recently, it would be good to stop buying superstars and put the savings into the academy and the infrastructure. Here. And Myron says Casemiro is the only 30-plus-year-old big signing that made sense due to the urgency of the situation, losing the first 2 games. No need for that again, says Myron. A few people saying they would love Harry Kane. Hendrik says Harry Kane would be a perfect signing, and Mbappe is a commercial team, need to make United look big and elite. Good, interesting point there. Kane will be playing Champions League football. Why would he go to Europa team Manchester United, says Gibby? Yeah, well, we've probably got as much chance of playing Champions League football next season as Spurs, to be honest with you. I do think there's a chance that Harry Kane will leave Spurs next season. He's going to be 30. He's never won anything. Sorry about that. It's been bothering me for about the last 5 minutes when I've been talking. It's interesting with Harry Kane, isn't it? Because I think that he wants to win trophies, but does he want to give up the Premier League goal scoring record, which he will beat? He will beat that record if he stays in the Premier League. Look, it's a pure hunch. It's a pure theory. I think Harry Kane will be coming to Manchester United in the summer. I think that's the player that we're going to go for. And with 1 year left on his contract, of course, I didn't mention that. With 1 year left on his contract, I think that it makes a lot of sense that United would do that. Again, it's a big signing. Look, the Glazers, Ed Woodward, and I don't know about Richard Arnold, they like a statement signing. They love a statement signing. You lose Ronaldo, who's going to be the next statement signing? You can develop Rashford. You can hope Sancho's going to become good and Anthony and everyone else. But they'll love a statement signing. The striker of Man United's got to be a statement signing. So I could see us going for Harry Kane, but we need a striker in January. You're not going to get Harry Kane in January, are you? So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. We did mention this on the morning show. I just while it drops in my head, because I will forget. We mentioned it on the morning show that there was a story coming out from the Daily Mail, Chris Wheeler, that George Mendes and Ronaldo had held talks at Bayern Munich last week. This has been absolutely confirmed to be not true by 2 very credible German journalists, Christian Falk, who is very close to Bayern Munich, and Plettigol, who is another journalist. Plettigol is the name on Twitter. They have said that Manchester United, Cristiano Ronaldo is not of interest to Bayern Munich, and those talks did not take place. So for those people who are wrapped up on where Cristiano Ronaldo is going to go next, for me, I'm not really that concerned. I'm more thinking about what United are going to do next, because we do need a striker. Bayern Munich looks very unlikely for Cristiano Ronaldo. I think Chelsea have ruled themselves out. So we're going to be back where we were in the summer, aren't we, with that? But that's not our problem to solve. And people will say, yeah, but if Ronaldo can't go anywhere, he'll have to stay at United. But why would you do that interview if you're not got a plan? I don't understand. George Mendes is one of the best agents and biggest super agents in the world. Fabrizio told us in the summer that he'd been trying to find a club for Ronaldo, and he didn't. And if you can't find one for him in January, why are they doing these interviews? Why are they storming off? If there is nowhere to go, your best tactic is to play well for Manchester United, get paid £500,000 a week, and then have the extension at the end of this season. Why burn your bridges at United if you haven't got a plan? So I'm sure there will be a plan for Ronaldo. I think a good World Cup might make that plan easier for everybody. And I suppose I would pose that question. Where's your heart and head on Ronaldo in the World Cup? Is he a player that you want to do badly because of his interview, or is he a player that you want to do well? My theory on this is that I think he's a player that I want to do well. He's one of the greatest players to ever play the game, and that won't change for me. But if we want to move on, we need teams to want Ronaldo. So if he has a good World Cup, probably finds him a team and we can all move on. Will says, hi, Mark. Does it worry you about Ronaldo talking about nothing changing in the facilities in 10 years will hurt us attract top players without top 4 finishes? Will, I don't ever worry about that sort of stuff, Will. I mean, I think somebody said to me the other day that this interview by Ronaldo will stop players wanting to come to Manchester United. I don't think it's the case. I remember people saying when Solskjaer got sacked and when Mourinho got sacked, that would stop top managers wanting to come to Manchester United. It didn't. We've got Erik ten Hag that Liverpool and Man City and Chelsea would have interviewed if they needed to. So managers are like players. They've got egos. They think they can be the person to turn it around at Manchester United. If we wanted to buy a top striker and we were negotiating with them, they would not sit and say, I really like the idea of coming to you, but that interview that Ronaldo did has made me realise that United's not the club for me. To be a competitor and to be successful, you've got to back yourself. And people will always want to come to Manchester United. Why not go for Jimenez from Feyenoord? He's cheaper and up and coming, says Leek. Well, if he's cheaper and he's up and coming and he's the right player and he's playing in the Eredivisie, Erik ten Hag will know all about him. I said this about Sangari at PSV. I thought Sangari would have been a really interesting signing for Manchester United in the midfield. And I was quite surprised, like many of you, that we never went for him. But PSV pushed Ajax for the title last season. Erik ten Hag bought Malacia from Feyenoord. If you're managing in the Premier League, you know all the players, don't you? You know Mason Mount, you know James Ward-Prowse, you know Callum Wilson, Almiron, you know all these players from the not fashionable clubs because you play in them. Erik ten Hag knows all the players from at the Eredivisie, and he didn't go for Sangari. So you've got to trust that judgment that he didn't think that he was good enough for what you needed at amount. Duncan says, I'm up for suspending Ronaldo until July, including from training. Don't allow him near the squad, but don't allow him to leave. Interesting, Duncan. I mean, that's the only thing I think United can do as a power play. And Pizza says, I'll tell you what, I am a bit hungry. Get me some pineapple on pizza. Who's with me? I'll buy the Cokes. Pizza says, if United are smart, they can use this to fuel the second half push, trying to prove they didn't need him, but this is still an unfortunate situation, says Pizza. Yeah, look, I think we said this yesterday, didn't we? This interview needs to pass. The reparation and plan needs to come into play. We're not playing competitive games until December. Very, very soon after that, the January transfer window opens. If United can bring in a striker and a right back in January, they're the two players we needed to bring in anyway, and it revitalizes the squad. It gives us fresh impetus. So I do wonder if Erik ten Hag is sat there, and I think he's going to go on holiday for a week. I do wonder if Erik ten Hag is sat there on holiday deep down going, you know what? Apart from the professional embarrassment of somebody saying publicly that they disrespect me, this actually might work out really, really well for me, because if we'd kept Ronaldo, am I better off with him or without him? The fact that he chose annoying Piers Morgan makes it even worse. Is he a United hater? And have you seen the moment of Ronaldo and Bruno's handshakes? As Muzzy, I have seen it. I've watched it loads of times, and I think people are overreacting. If I'm being completely honest, I mean, I do. Biggie, no football manager today. I did say that yesterday. I can't do it today because I'm not able to do it. But it'll be back tomorrow. I saw the Bruno and Ronaldo thing, and I really don't think there's anything in it. I think the Portuguese press have said that there's nothing in it. And I mean, to be honest, what does it mean anyway? You know, I liken it to Scott McTominay having a bad game for United, but putting in a hard tackle on Jordan Henderson in a game against Liverpool. Everyone goes, oh, yeah, my player. But I want Bruno Fernandes to play well for Manchester United week in, week out. Whether he's pissed off with Ronaldo or whether he shook his hand firmly enough, oh, that's my player. I just want these players to play well on the pitch for Man United, whether it's Cristiano Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes, Harry Maguire. Ultimately, I'm not really bothered about, you know, wins for the cameras. I'm interested in wins on the pitch. And, you know, they're going to be playing together for their country, trying to win a World Cup. I don't think Bruno Fernandes is going to bring club issues into that. And the modern footballer really isn't like that anyway. This will work out well for United if the club doesn't do something stupid and try to suspend him instead of letting him go, says Stephen. And also, let's say Mbappe does come to United. Would this be a move to make the stocks rise, shirt sales go up, and use it like they did with Ronaldo, says Slow Sports News? I mean, yes. I mean, let's be honest with you. If we did buy Kylian Mbappe, then we would be in a situation where we would sell a lot of shirts. We would have a lot of high profile, etc., which is exactly why we shouldn't do it, because that's not the way to rebuild a football club. If you have a car on your drive with no wheels and no engine, you don't spend your whole budget on one wheel. You need another 3 wheels and you need an engine. And I feel that Kylian Mbappe, that type of signing is not what United need to do, and it would present a lot of problems. I don't think it's the sort of player that Ten Hag wants, and I think we need to back this manager. That's what we need to do. We need to back this manager with what he wants to do. Anyway, Mbappe would probably be a part owner, as somebody just said there. Why don't United target Luka Jovic? He doesn't cost much. I've heard Jovic mentioned Nemanja, and I don't think he's the sort of player that we'll be looking at. And these are the sort of conversations I want to have. And you have to be fed a little bit by the media on this. But at the moment, they're so locked in on Ronaldo that they're not actually doing their job. Who are United going to buy in January? What are the right backs that Man United are going to buy in January? This is what we should be talking about, because this is what's going to happen, and it's going to happen very soon. The January transfer window is very, very close, and there's a World Cup going on, so people can actually start negotiating. I want to know who we're looking at in January. I don't want to look at Mbappe, which would never happen. Why would Kylian join United when he owns PSG? Says Chicken. And also, Nathan Allen says, to be fair, Cristiano Ronaldo is the only one to come out and stand up to the Glazers. I'm not saying what he did is right, but you needed someone to stand up to them. Yeah, look, I've said that on 2 previous videos now, Nathan, and you are right. Life's not a box of chocolates, as Forrest Gump once said, and not everybody shits gold, which is my saying. And what I mean by that is that, there's a lot of crap that's come out from this Piers Morgan interview with Cristiano Ronaldo, but there are some golden bits as well. And, that doesn't, you can't poo-poo. There's a lot of crap talk, isn't there? You can't poo-poo the whole interview because you don't like some of it. Like, there are bits in there that are very valuable, and there may well be more bits to come out that are very valuable as well. And as I said, I'm never going to sit here and say that I'm not encouraged by a serving Manchester United player coming out and saying that the Glazers are bad for Manchester United. We've been craving that for years, but some people don't. Some people are ignoring it because, well, he disrespected the manager. Well, doesn't mean he's not right, does he? I don't mean he's right about disrespecting the manager, but to come out and slate the Glazers is absolutely huge. Hi, Mark. Thoughts on Anthony's interview? Says Alpha. Not read it, really. Not read it. And my thoughts on Anthony at the moment are I really like him. I think he's a very exciting player, but I am a bit disappointed that the day after Fulham, he's in full training with Brazil. But, he's our future, and I think he'll be a good player. Stephen says United needs to decide right now what kind of club they want to be. Stop going after pricey franchise players and develop the next potential Mbappe. And I agree with you there, Stephen. We need to be in the South American market. We need to be in the scouting market. We need to be in the development market. We need to be buying players that are... I mean, look at Jurgen Klopp, Mane from Southampton, Van Dijk from Southampton, Andy Robertson was from Hull, wasn't he? Nunez from Benfica. There's plenty of others. I'm trying to think. Diaz from Portugal. There's plenty of players that Jurgen Klopp has bought from that aren't superstar signings. Alisson from Roma. These players that he brings in that have the potential to go to the next level. Him says Lautaro Martinez would be a good shout. It's a summer signing, though. We need a striker in January. Surely that's what we need, and that's the market we need to focus on. That's what we need to buy. We need to buy a striker in January. If Man United can attract GOAT Ronaldo back to Old Trafford 16 months ago, surely we can get Mbappe. And Alisson and Darwin were super expensive, though, says Francisco. Yeah, I'm not talking about the price. I'm talking about the profile of player. Was Alisson a superstar? Was Diaz a superstar? Was Nunez a superstar? They were up-and-coming developmental players having the potential to play at the highest level. Anthony was very expensive. We overpaid for Anthony, but he would have been expensive. But he's a developmental player. We need to buy developmental players. When I say developmental players, people think I'm talking about some 17-year-old from Stoke. Anthony is a developmental player. People will say, well, you can't be a developmental player at £85 million. You can. Because as somebody quite rightly said there, that's what Klopp did with Diaz. And that's what he's doing with Nunez. They're not world-class yet, but you buy them to become world-class. That is what United need to do. Stop going for the superstar finished article with the ego and go for the people who are hungry to make the next step. Bruno was a developmental player. Sporting Lisbon to Manchester United is a step up. This is all just so sad. Why did it have to end like this, as yours? And was there anything in the Marcos Leandro rumours from Santos, says Ian? I don't know, but I do think it is a market that United need to start looking at. Vlahovic. Well, you need to watch the video yesterday with Fabrizio Romano about Vlahovic. He is a striker at Juventus, as you may well know, but they spent a lot of money on him. So we'd have to spend a lot of money on him if we wanted to get him. That's what we need to do in that scenario. Why does that not do that? Okay. I'm a little bit concerned as to why that won't go back up there, but that's fine. Would like United to push towards French Dortmund striker? And we need to sign more South American players as top players. I said it before and I'll say it again. I just think it's about avoiding the superstar signings and going for more developmental signings. Martinez is developmental. Malacia is. Anthony is. These are the sort of players we need to be bringing into the club that Ten Hag can coach and take to the next level. And I think that's the future for United. And therefore, I'm looking at which developmental striker are we going to buy in January, because we bloody well need to get one. Simple as that. And it shouldn't be Mbappe. Anyway, it was only meant to be a quick lunchtime show. Remember, we're live at 9 o'clock tonight, 9 o'clock show tonight, not 8 o'clock, because we're shifting the 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock because tomorrow night, obviously, we've got 2 nights of this interview at 8 o'clock where we'll react at 9 o'clock. So I will see you live at 9 o'clock tonight. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Take care. Smash a like on the video, subscribe, and get your comments in below. Thanks for watching.